I assume you know why we brought you here to Mr. Hepplewhite's home.
No, I can't imagine.
Don't waste our time, Mr. Craig.
Waste your time? I'm wasting your time? Police knock on my door, insist I accompany them to Mr. Hepplewhite's home, and I'm wasting your time. Please, enlighten me and tell me as to why you've wasted my afternoon.
You've probably heard Mr. Hepplewhite was found dead this morning.
Really? No, I hadn't heard.
His wife returned from out of town to find him here in this very room, on that very floor, on that very rug. This all a surprise?
Oh, yes, very surprising.
You don't look very surprised.
Hot water, Mr. Craig. That's what you're in. Hot water.
A man is dead. Clearly you already knew about Hepplewhite's death. In fact, we suspect you were the first to know.
And just what are you trying to suggest?
We have a body. A Mr. Hepplewhite, an associate of yours at the Great Lakes Birdwatching Club. We have a gun found here at the scene of the crime with your fingerprints all over it, and we have a neighbor telling us she heard a gunshot and through her window saw you race out the front door and drive away in a vehicle that matches your car's description.
Are you trying to suggest that I killed Mr. Hepplewhite?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Do you see how surprised I look? The police bring me here and ask if I killed Mr. Hepplewhite. Is this really what our tax dollars are paying for? So the police can run around asking people if they killed other people? Do you have nothing more pressing to do with your time?
More pressing? No, absolutely not. This is a matter of the highest importance.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Of course.
Really?
Enough! Did you kill Mr. Hepplewhite?
Well, let's say I did kill Mr. Hepplewhite. Would that be such a crime?
Would that be such a crime? Killing Mr. Hepplewhite, well, yes, a very serious crime. We'd throw you in jail.
What? Jail?
Yes.
Oh, you're serious? A crime? Just for killing someone like Mr. Hepplewhite, whom nobody liked? Did you know Mr. Hepplewhite was always late for everything? And he never washed his hands after going to the bathroom. And he was constantly interrupting when other people were talking. Is it a crime to kill someone like that? A chronic interrupter? And he never returned the things that he borrowed. Is it a crime to kill someone like that?
You're admitting to killing Mr. Hepplewhite and the motive was interrupting?
No. I'm not admitting to anything. I'm simply saying that surely there must be some justification, some exceptions for killing a man.
Well, of course there can be extenuating circumstances, an accident, self-defense.
Well, what if I told you it was self-defense? Wouldn't you kill a man if he pulled a gun on you first? Wouldn't you kill a man in that situation?
Are you ready to tell us what happened?
Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Hepplewhite. Oh, Mr. Hepplewhite, no! What are you doing? Why? Why, Mr. Hepplewhite? Why did you try and kill me, forcing me to kill you in self-defense? I know what I did was justified, but it doesn't make the pain go away. Why?
Mr. Craig, this is your story. You entered, Mr. Hepplewhite pulled a gun, you wrestled, he got shot, you cried out, why? Mr. Craig, is this really what happened?
Allow me to answer your question with another question. If this is what happened, would it be considered a justified killing?
The evidence will back up your story.
Evidence? What are you talking about, evidence?
I'm not sure the motive is clear on why Hepplewhite wanted you dead. And what about the gun? We're checking the gun registration. If we find the gun registered in Hepplewhite's name, it will, of course, strengthen your story.
First you tell me I can't kill a man, then you tell me the evidence has to back my side of the story. The gun registration. Well, not sure you'll find the gun registered to Hepplewhite. It's entirely possible you'll find the gun is registered to me.
The wrong way, Mr. Craig. That's how you're robbing me. Right, you're robbing me the wrong way. You're your weak doctor.
What if I told you that Mr. Hepplewhite had borrowed the gun, and I was just then on my way to his house to get it back?
Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Hepplewhite.
Ah, Mr. Craig, how lovely to see you.
How very pleasant to see you.
To what do I owe the honor of your visit?
Well, I've just come, I was in your neighborhood, and I've just come to collect the gun you borrowed.
Really? I didn't think you needed it back till next week. Why do you need it back so soon?
Oh, I really need it back tonight. Not for killing anybody. Just, I have a light on my porch and the switch is broken. I need the gun so I can shoot out the light bulb. That broken light's been keeping me awake night after night.
Have you considered calling an electrician?
Call an electrician? Don't be ridiculous. That's why people buy guns, to shoot out light bulbs so they don't have to waste money on electricians.
But I had big plans for this gun of yours. Big plans.
What are you talking about, big plans? It's my gun and I want it back, now.
You promised I could give you back this gun next week, and I can't let you break that promise.
So what? You're going to shoot me with my own gun? Oh, this is an outrage. This is like that time you borrowed my Birds of Africa field guide and identified the African pygmy goose, even though you knew it was always my dream to see the African pygmy goose. It's unlikely I shall let you borrow anything from me ever again.
You have nothing I want, except for this gun.
Well, what about my exotic bird field guides? I've seen you admire them. You'll never lay a finger on them now.
I might still have them.
How?
Well, with a little help from your gun.
How dare you threaten me or my exotic bird field guides? Oh. 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 Why? Why, Mr. Hepplewhite? Why did you try to kill me to get ownership of my gun, forcing me to kill you in self-defense? Why?
Mr. Craig! This is your story. You two were friends and you argued about his refusal to give back your gun. To be honest, doesn't seem reason enough to kill. Mr. Craig, is this really what happened?
Let me ask you this. Does the evidence support this version of events? And what about his refusal to give my gun back and his sinister talk of big plans? What do you think his plans for my gun were? Was he planning to kill somebody? Did I possibly save another person's life? Am I a hero? Well, some people would say yes, but I would say also yes, yes I am.
We'll ask Hepplewhite's wife to confirm her husband borrowed your gun, and we'll check the gun again to see if we can find any of Hepplewhite's fingerprints on it.
Evidence, evidence, evidence. All you seem to care about is evidence. How can a man think of evidence when his life is in danger? You weren't there. You don't know how you would have acted in the same situation.
A creek, Mr. Craig, that's where you are. And you don't have a paddle. You've got somewhere you'd like to paddle to, but you can't because you're up a creek without a bloody paddle.
Maybe the gun didn't have any of Hepplewhite's fingerprints on it, and maybe his wife didn't know he'd asked to borrow the gun because I was just then dropping it off at his house.
Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Hepplewhite. I've just come to bring you the gun you asked to borrow. Why did the gun have to be so slippery? I oiled and shined it so it would look nice for Mr. Hepplewhite, but the oil made it slip from my fingers and accidentally kill him. Why?
This is your story.
Well, if this is what happened, it would be difficult to blame me, wouldn't it?
Will the trajectory of the bullet wound show that the shot came from the floor?
Trajectory? What do you mean, trajectory?
Well, if the shot came from the floor, the bullet would be moving upward. And the point of where the bullet entered Mr. Hepplewhite would be much lower than that of where it exited Mr. Hepplewhite.
Trajectory. Trajectory.
Thin ice, Mr. Craig! That's what you're skating on. You're skating on thin ice, Mr. Craig! Look down! Ice could break at any moment because you're skating on thin ice!
Maybe we didn't struggle for the gun. Maybe it wasn't self-defense. Maybe it wasn't an accident, but maybe it was preventative self-defense. What would you do if you knew a man would try and kill you sooner or later? What would you do if you'd heard a man had run around town threatening your life, calling your phone in the middle of the night and hanging up, stapling dead animals to your front door, writing vicious and grammatically incorrect letters? Would you wait for him to show up at your house with a gun? Or would you perhaps go to his house and try to talk out your differences? And wouldn't you take a gun with you, given the past threats and potential for danger?
Come in.
Hello, Mr. Hepplewhite.
Mr. Craig, what are you doing here? You know you're not welcome here.
I've come to try and talk out our differences. I know you don't like me. I know you've been making threats, but can't we find a way to settle our differences?
Settle our differences? Ha! I don't like you and I never will. Ha!
But why don't you like me? I'm a really nice guy. I've got a list of people who like me and who'd be very, very upset if anything happened to me.
I know all I need to know. I know I can't live in a world with Mr. Craig in it, and I won't be happy until you're dead. What are you going to do? Shoot me? You don't have the guts.
I don't want any trouble. I'm sorry we couldn't work this out. I'll be leaving now.
Go ahead and leave. But remember this, Mr. Craig. That gun may have saved you today, but it can't save you forever. Someday, your guard will be down. Someday, you won't have a gun. And that's the day Mr. Hepplewhite will jump from the shadows with a knife in his hand.
If that is truly your intention, I have no choice but to save myself tomorrow by killing you today. Why, Mr. Hepplewhite, why did you force me to kill you as a preventative self-defense measure?
Well, it sounds like you killed him in cold blood.
Well, what if I killed him in cold blood, knowing that he would surely kill me on some dark night in some dark alley?
Maybe you'd convince a jury he was a danger to you, especially when your lawyer shows the threatening letters and presents witnesses who heard him threaten your life. We can even trace the phone records of him calling and hanging up.
Well, again, you speak of evidence. Maybe the only evidence I have was in my gut, in my heart. But wouldn't you do the same thing in that situation?
Mr. Craig, your own grave! That's what you're digging! You're digging your own grave!
But should a man sit around and wait for the threatening letters, the hang-ups in the nighttime? Or should he take matters into his own hands and and eliminate the threat before it grows more serious.
Come in.
Hepplewhite, this has gone on long enough.
What has?
I need to talk to you about something serious.
What?
I know you don't like me.
What? Why do you say that?
I know you want me dead.
Want you dead? That's absurd.
There's no use denying it. I can tell when I look in your eyes. I can feel it in my gut. I can tell by the way you don't laugh at any of my jokes. My funny, funny jokes, which everybody laughs at but you. I'm always the life of the party, and there's Hepplewhite in the corner, not laughing, ruining the party for everyone. You want me dead, and you can't laugh at the jokes of a man you want to kill.
That's crazy. What's
crazy? That you can't laugh at the jokes of a man you want to kill? Everybody knows that. It's in the Bible.
No, it isn't.
It's in Proverbs, somewhere. I wouldn't expect knowledge of the Bible from you. A man with murder in his heart.
Mr. Craig, you're being irrational, and I must ask you to leave.
I'm being irrational? Is it irrational not to want to be killed? If that's irrational, I never want to be rational again.
You have outstayed your welcome.
Why are you so anxious for me to leave? Is it so you can get back to plotting to kill me?
No!
Well, I can't sit around and wait while you plot to kill me. Promise you'll stop plotting to kill me.
I'm not plotting to kill you. How can I promise to stop plotting to kill you if I'm not plotting to kill you?
I'm going to give you one more chance to promise you'll stop plotting to kill me.
But I'm not plotting to kill you.
You killed him because you had the feeling he wanted to kill you?
Well, wouldn't that be justified?
No.
But he wouldn't promise to stop plotting to kill me.
He said he wasn't plotting to kill you.
Why would someone who was plotting to kill me tell me they were plotting to kill me? That's exactly the kind of person that wouldn't tell the truth.
A jury won't buy that story.
And you wouldn't do the same thing in that situation?
No.
A rock and a hard place, Mr. Craig. That's where you're at. The rock is over here, and the hard place is over here. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
So you wouldn't kill a man in that situation when you feel your life is in danger? Well, maybe the only evidence I had was in my heart, but isn't that the best kind of evidence?
No. There are heaps of better kinds of evidence. Fingerprints, eyewitnesses, gun registration, bullet trajectory.
All right, Mr. High and Mighty, and your partner over here, Mr. Moral. You wouldn't kill a man in any situation, is that what you're telling me?
I didn't say that.
Well, what if I told you the real reason I went to see Hepplewhite that day? The real reason was Hepplewhite was having an affair with my wife.
Hey, darling. Oh, yeah, it was wonderful last night, wasn't it? Yeah, that. Oh, I think he's there.
Come in.
Hello, Mr. Hepplewhite.
Mr. Craig, can I get you a cup of tea?
Not a social visit, Hepplewhite. I've just had a very serious talk with my wife. All these years, we've been friends, associates in the Great Lakes Birdwatching Club. And you've been sleeping with my wife? How could you? After all I've done for you. Who lied for you when you said you'd seen a South American spotted meadowlark and it turned out to be an old shoe dangling in a tree? Who helped you get the shoe down before the others arrived?
You've been a good friend. But it just happened. Neither of us wanted to hurt you.
Oh, I'm hurt, all right. It's going to be very difficult for our relationship to move on past this betrayal.
I don't think there's a chance for moving on.
What? Why?
your wife and I are getting married. We're running away together. We're honeymooning in Mozambique, where we plan to see the African harrier hawk.
The African harrier hawk? But she always said we'd see the harrier hawk together.
You'd never be able to afford it. But now I can give her all the things that you never could, like breakfast. We'll have buttered toast in the morning and do a dance class at night, and I'll be able to buy her one of those papers that contains all the news.
A newspaper?
That's the one. I'll work from home, writing a book about how bird watching is a metaphor for life, or the universe, or the stock market, or something.
But that book was my idea.
You've had your chance, and now it's my turn, with your book and your wife.
Don't do this to me, Hepplewhite, please.
I couldn't help falling in love with your wife, and I couldn't help falling in love with your great idea for a book. Hey, don't worry, you have other ideas. You have lots of great ideas. Everybody thinks you're really, really smart.
Don't do this to me, Hepplewhite. I can't live without her. She's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Cheer up. Hey, you know what? We'll send you a picture of a postcard. Me riding the African harrier hawk.
You can't do this to me. It's a matter of life or death. I'll die if my wife leaves me. Don't you see? I had no choice. Taking my wife would have taken all of my reasons for living. In a way, wasn't I defending my life?
Some juries might be swayed by an adulterous wife. Broken, humiliated man. And your wife will confirm she was having an affair with Miss... It says in your file you aren't even married. You don't even have a wife.
The end of my rope, Mr. Creed! That is where I'm at! I'm at the end of my...
I think I see what you're saying. You're saying, how could Mr. Hepplewhite have had an affair with my wife if I don't have her wife? Did I say he was having an affair with my wife? I meant I was having an affair with his wife.
Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Hepplewhite.
My wife told me everything.
Wait, it's not what you think.
It's not. She told me you two have been seeing each other behind my back for years.
Oh, well, yes, that is what you think.
And to think you almost got away with it.
Oh, but there's no need for this. The affair is finished. It's over now.
Since when is it over?
Well, we saw each other last week, and I decided that we shouldn't see each other anymore because I didn't want to hurt my dear friend, Mr. Hepplewhite. We were never going to see each other again, I promise.
You came to see her tonight. That's why you are at the door. You thought I'd be out of town.
Well, tonight was going to be the last time, I promise.
You were going away the weekend. I saw the plane ticket. That's how I caught her.
Well, this weekend was going to be the last time, I promise. Hepplewhite, you must believe me when I tell you that I never meant for you to find out about any of this.
Can I say something? Why does Mr. Hepplewhite have your gun at the beginning of the story, and as we discussed earlier, will we find any of Hepplewhite's fingerprints on the gun?
Come in.
I love your wife. Maybe it's unfair to you, but we love each other, and I'm taking her away from all of this. We'll be married soon enough to see the African harrier hawk in Mozambique. I'll send you a postcard.
I'm afraid you're too late. My wife told me everything, and I've sent her to stay at her sister's house until we get this whole thing sorted out.
Well, I'll simply find out where her sister lives.
Good luck. She has 4 sisters. I'll simply rotate her among the houses.
Wait. 4 sisters? Tell me, all of her sisters as attractive as she is.
They are. The youngest is the prettiest.
And these sisters, are they single, married?
Two married, two single, including the youngest.
Oh. And when you say single, do you mean...
Mr. Craig! Is this information about the sisters important to the story?
My wife and I are leaving town tomorrow. You'll never see her again.
Tell me where she is.
No!
You don't have to worry about me seeing her. I'm not going to ask her to run away with me.
Why do you want to see her if you're not going to ask her to run away with you?
Well, I need to know where my khakis are. She had them last.
You drove up here in your car.
Oh, you think you're so smart? Tell me where she is. I need her. I'll die without her. She's the best thing that ever happened to me.
It's your problem, not mine.
Oh, you don't even care if I die of a broken heart. You're a terrible person, you know that? Terrible.
I'm a terrible person. You're the one sleeping with my wife.
Tell me where she is.
Never!
Tell me now.
Or what? You'll shoot me?
I don't want to do it.
If you shoot me, I'll be dead, and I won't be able to tell you where my wife is.
What if I just shoot her in the leg?
Well, maybe if you shoot me in the leg, I'll go into shock, and I still won't be able to tell you.
Well, what about your arm?
What about my arm?
Well, would you go into shock if I shot you in the arm?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the leg either, really. Oh! Oh, my arm is over here, you idiot!
Mr. Craig, this is your story. You confronted him about your affair with his wife, and when he refused to tell you her location, you tried to shoot him in the arm but missed. Mr. Craig, is this really what happened?
Well, allow me to answer your question with two questions. Does the evidence support this version of events, and would a jury consider this a justified
The evidence we'll look into, but I'm pretty sure the jury won't consider this a justified killing.
What? Are you telling me it's a crime to kill a man who's trying to stop you from having an affair with his wife?
Yes, absolutely a crime.
And even if I thought the end of the affair would cause me to spiral into depression, stop eating, and starve to death, they still wouldn't acquit?
Probably not.
And even though I only meant to shoot him in the arm?
Your breath, Mr. Green! That is what you're wasting! You're wasting your breath!
Well, I'm very surprised. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, but I'm really very surprised by your definition of justified killing. It's like you're trying to tell me that killing people is mostly not allowed. I mean, people kill each other every day. It's in the news all the time. What? Instead of bothering me, why don't you go and arrest those people?
We do.
Really?
Yes.
All of them?
When we arrest them, they go to jail. They go to trial. The jury will decide whether they are guilty or not.
And what do the juries usually decide?
Guilty.
And you're saying that none of the reasons I've given have been sufficient to excuse killing?
None of the reasons have held up so far.
Held up so far? Are you trying to suggest that I have not been completely honest with you? Do you believe this guy? You don't believe me either. All this time I thought you were on my side. One more question, and I promise it will be my last. I'm beginning to see that there's just no breaking through to the two of you. No matter what I say, you continue to demand evidence or some moral justification. So let me ask you this. Is it ever okay to kill somebody, or perhaps two somebodies, who won't believe any of your reasons for killing Mr. Hepplewhite?